Good morning. I'm from Browser Core team in Alibaba Qwen business unit. Today I want to talk about one missing capability layer for the agentic web. My core argument is that if agents are becoming a real class of web user, then browsers need to expose a more intentional and more compact interface for page understanding and interaction. Today, agents already use the web, but mostly through accidental interfaces. Sometimes they rely on screenshots and vision model to guess where to act. Sometimes they inspect the DOM or reuse the accessibility tree. And sometimes they drive the browser through the automation APIs and simulated input. All of these approaches can work, but they are brittle, expensive, and inconsistent because the agent is forced to reconstruct actionability from the signal that never designed as a real interface for it. That is the situation where we have today. Agents can use the web, but they are still hacking their way through it. What we still lack is a browser-native, compact, machine-usable interaction layer. The accessibility tree is probably the closest thing we already have. It gives a schematic view of the page, which is why many agent systems actually start from there. But it's still not the interface we ultimately need. It helps with the structure, but it was not designed as a compact, agent-oriented interaction layer. So I would treat it as a useful starting point, not the final answer. A better way to think about this is a layered stack, not two competing paths. At the bottom, the browser provides a general extraction substrate for pages that expose nothing. On top of that, site-declared capabilities such as WebMCP provide a more precise cooperative interface when the site participates. And across both, the browser remains the trust and policy boundary. So the point is simple. These are not substitutes. There are different layers solving different parts of the problem. WebMCP is a good example of a cooperative direction. It gives sites a structured way to expose actions and tools to agents. And that is clearly better than making the agent infer everything from screenshots and page scraping. But for this talk, I want to keep WebMCP part simple. It's useful, but it's not sufficient by itself. It still depends on site adoption. Discovery is not complete. Coverage will remain uneven. And many pages will continue to provide no explicit machine-facing capability at all. So even in a world where MCP succeeds, the browser still needs to provide a strong general extraction layer. So WebMCP is the cooperative layer. The next question is what happened when that layer is absent? Many pages will still expose no explicit capability to agents. In those cases, the browser is the only layer that already has the ground truth about the page. So what should that interaction snapshot contain? At a minimum, it needs 4 things. First, semantic identity, what the node is and how the agent should refer to it. Second, interaction affordance, what the agent can actually do with it, whether that means clicking, focusing, editing, selecting, or scrolling. Third, rendered context, whether the element is visible, where it is on the page, and what interaction state matters. And fourth, query controls, because this cannot be just a fixed full-size tree DOM. Sometimes the agent only needs a subtree, agent across frame view or only actionable nodes. It also needs budget control so the output stay compact enough for the real modern usage. The value is straightforward. It gives the agent better grounding before action, reduce false interactions, lower token costs, and make behavior more consistent across layouts, platforms, and device environments. That's why we think this is the right shape of browser primitives. This has to work across platforms, not just in one browser environment. The same agent task may move across desktop, mobile, and web view contexts. So the semantics need to stay stable even when the layout, rendering, and performing conditions change. And the browser still remains the trustworthy. If it exposes agent-facing capability, it also has to enforce permission, consent, least privilege, and policy over what the agent can observe and invoke. So the cross-platform consistency and the trust are not secondary concerns. They're part of the design from the start. So the takeaway is simple. Cooperative capability matters, and WebMCP is an important part of that direction. But it does not remove the need for a browser-native extraction substrate that gives the agent a compact and actionable view of that page. That is the standards discussed we want to advance, support the cooperative layer, recognize its current boundary, and treat the browser extraction primitive as a first-class browser capability. If the agent interaction with the web is going to scale in a trustworthy way, that missing layer has to become part of the platform. Thank you. That's my talk today.